And today we have some guests, even from our European community also here today. So not only Indians and Asians, now we have volunteers across some of the EU students also, primarily in HR area. They are very interested to volunteer for the HR volunteering side. So we welcome everybody, and we are trying to just wait a couple of minutes, and we'll start off it off. So okay, good.
Yeah, still people are keep on joining. So, okay, shall we start it off? We are already 5 minutes late, I guess.
No, no worries. Just give it a time. I'm just putting a remark on WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Sometimes people do not find the links, on the hurry side. So guys,
Correct.
open your videos. I'll request everybody. So have you guys sent a message on groups to join the event link? Cool. Yes, Priya. Good to go, I
Yeah,
think.
right. Okay.
I'll mute my mic.
Okay. Yeah. So, I am there. Actually, my screen is shared. Is my screen is all visible? Is mine?
Yes, we can see your screen
Okay.
and
Yeah.
welcome
Okay.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hi everybody. So myself Priyavrat here, and thank you everyone for joining today for this session. And good afternoon for the folks joining from European countries, and good evening for the people joining from India or outside European countries. And yeah, so I coming down to me, like I have several years of software development experience back in US and India, and then currently I'm doing my masters in data analytics from National College of Ireland. Okay. So currently, I'm a part of Dublin Indian students community as a volunteer. I'm doing my volunteering activity with the DIX community. Okay, so we'll start with our DIX community, like the introduction, and then we'll go further. Okay, so Dublin Indian community is nothing but it's a students and professionals association across Ireland. So we are like helping for the people, for the students, or for the organizations, and for the professionals who are the job seekers for getting their increasing their network and engaging them to how to find out the jobs and to grow themselves over the job market in the Ireland. Okay.
So you can change Priya the PPT, the slides. Or yeah, you have the control. No worry.
Okay. Okay. It's fine, all right. Yeah. So
Okay.
today with us we have Mr. Surya Patra from Softest company, and we have Kavya Krishnamurthy. She's from working in Experis company. So both our guest speakers, and we have our guest speakers coordinators, Mr. Shubham. He is a student in National College of Ireland, and then Pooja Singh, she is also a student in National College of Ireland, and then Rucha, she is a student in Trinity College, Dublin. Okay. And our guest speakers are our Mr. Surya Patra and Mrs. Kavya Krishnamurthy. And today's agenda is like we are going to look for the community introductions about the disc, what we are doing now, and then guest speakers welcome. We are going to welcome our guest speakers, and then introduction to our guest speakers, and then we'll keep the housekeeping for like keeping everybody's mic mute so that you'll will have the session recorded and will not have any disturbance during the discussion panel. And then we'll have at the end of this session we'll have a frequently feedback survey links we'll be sending you so that everybody can fill on the survey how you feel about the event and what is the changes you are looking from our this community. Okay. And then we have guest speakers. The guest speakers will giving the time for the guest speakers to discuss for 30 minutes on the questions we are going to ask them so that the guest speakers will be able to answer them. Okay. And then we'll have the Q&A session in the live chat videos so that in the whenever you have any question, if you want to ask us, then that you can just use the chat option so that you can ask your questions, and then we will consolidate all the questions and will go to the guest speakers and to answer them so that you will be able to get your answers. And thanks, and LinkedIn feedback groups also invited. And for housekeeping, as we can ask you like to turn on your cameras during the event, and then we can mute your microphone so that
Guys,
the
open up
distraction.
your videos, everybody. We will wait for a second here and
Yes,
appreciate
yeah.
everybody to open their videos wherever they're joining. And you can keep your microphone. So I'll wait for everybody to open their videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
Okay,
on,
yeah.
go on.
So yeah, coming down to the Dublin Indian Students Community, our story, our like this event, this community started in the back in 2018 in the only with 5 Indian students, and then that gradually growing gradually, and then more and more volunteers are joining with us, and then we are like building our network very faster. Okay, and then Dublin Indian students community can see like the building, promoting talent marketplace in the skill professional, supporting the Irish companies. So we are basically we are supporting the Irish market here in Ireland, sharing first hand and unbiased insights about the courses and in universities. Like we are like let's say whenever the students are coming to Ireland, they have like many doubts how to which course to like look for and what the university they are looking for. So those things we can get it help from here, and connecting and uniting Ireland students professionals. You can see here in 2018 we have like started the WhatsApp group in DISC, and 2019 we reached around 0 to 1000 like followers, and then again 2020 around 3000, 2021 we have around 6700 members. So we have again by approximately end of this year we are targeting for 2300 members in the for our DISC community. And then we have like speakers, like we have with 7000 followers currently in our Facebook and then in our LinkedIn together, and then we have 10 universities and college members. We have 2000 registered members with us and 15 volunteers and stakeholders, 100 recruiters and HR followers. And June 2021 launches we have in 2021 June we have referred one e-referral solution which is helping for the students who are looking for the job. So that is started from June 2020, and we have e-referral system. And then and this is the like the stack how we have increased like the number of volunteers in our gradually the starting from 2018 until end of 2021, and then next year we have planning for 20 volunteers more. And strategies priorities we have 2021, we have scale and grow the members engagement, build Ireland companies network. Okay, so this is how we are going to do this. And then we can see like we have few past events we have done. Each and every month we are doing some events which will be helping for the all job seekers to grow their network and find out the job and how they will stand out of the crowd. Okay, and this you can see like this is a like quarterly, we have a quarterly face-to-face meeting with all our volunteers, so that we are growing each other together by growing, living each other and then helping each other and then growing. Now you can see launch of e-referrals. We have like a disc talent marketplace where we have these companies like these are the, you can see on my screen, the like list of companies are there. We are looking for the job, somebody looking for the job on these companies, then definitely the disc is able to help you for e-referrals. We can just fill your e-referral forms and then we will able to help you. And professional networks, so we can see like Dublin India Students Community supports through career event guidance mentorship to the community membership that helps bridge the employment gap between the university, college and job search guidance with the Ireland companies. So this one you can see the picture we have taken it from 2021 this year. This is even though the pandemic was there. So we have the career opportunities. We have Dublin India Students Community working professionals giving job e-referrals for supporting and finding relevant job leads to the right community members. And then how we can learn new skills, like this community helping you to make a new friends and contents, increase your social and relational skills, and teaches you the value job and soft skills. Creating value through the networking Ireland students and professionals. Okay, so this kids able to help. We can grow our network, we can engage more and more activities, and we can grow ourselves and we can grow along with the community.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah,
Priya, for
so
that.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And I'll like to add and give this opportunity to our guest speakers, Surya sir and Kavya, to introduce themselves. So primarily, this our community is for now is emerging as a problem solution, which Priya has given in details. Quite quick snapshot, we try to give a quick snapshot. Objective is on the agenda. So as we see our events objectives, a smart way how you can search for jobs and correct guidance. So community is not only focused on Indians, to be very frank. We started with that, and now a lot of non-EU students and Asian students are also part of it, and we welcome. And they're building a trust in solving those problems. Problem is that the money investment and time and experience that we bring through that. So volunteering can give you a lot of experience, and these problems of how you get in return on your investment, how you interact with the community of HR, talent acquisition, and how you build your network and grow your careers in Ireland. As Surya sir has been there over, so I officially welcome. And sir, you can give a small introduction about yourself, and our coordinators are there. Rucha Sharma is there, and Pooja and Shubham. They will start then later on with you guys. Thanks.
Um, Thanks, Priya brother. Thanks, Amit. It's an absolute pleasure for me to be here with you all, and I'm very delighted and I'm very excited about this event too. So, just a brief intro about myself, about my personal journey, and about my company. So, I am basically a engineering graduate from India, from NIT Rourkela. And after doing my mechanical engineering from there, I also did a chartered financial analyst. And I started my career in the engineering field. And then I worked for about 10 years in India in different fields like engineering, finance, and consulting before moving to software industry. And I joined Tech Mahindra as a start of my career in the IT field. And then in the year 1999, I moved to Ireland. So it is now nearly 20 plus years I am here. After working for about 10 years in India, I am here for 20 plus years. And in here, I have worked with different kinds of financial companies in the different areas of software technology. And then after working for about 20 years in here, I thought, okay, let me take a early retirement from my career and start my own business so that I'll be my own boss and I'll have a very easy life. But that never happened. After having my own business, I'm like more busy than ever before, and I'm working like two shifts at the moment. And to worsen the matters, the COVID came and took its toll. We had a lot of difficulties during COVID period. The business, hardly any business was there, but we continued through the COVID period, 12 plus months. Even though we didn't have any business, we still continued with our sustenance, persistence, and the time and energy and investment we did during that period. Even though we didn't get much return that time, but now we are seeing it bearing the fruits. At the moment, after this pandemic period for last 4 5 months, ever since the market has opened and IT jobs have become more and more coming to the market, we have quite a good few clients and candidates and success, and we are like doing well. When we look back, because of what we did during those 12 plus months, we are surviving, whereas a lot of big companies closed down, and or many companies also trimmed down themselves to much smaller sizes. But we are growing still, and as of now we have got good few clients, large clients in Ireland as well as in the UK. So we are basically a recruitment agency operating from Ireland and catering to the Ireland as well as UK market. And we work mostly in the areas of experienced people, not for fresh graduates, but we cater to the people having some experience in the industry, at least about 4 5 years. And that is what at the moment our clients are looking for. So, and while we have got some large clients at the moment, we are also at the moment in discussion with a couple of smaller companies so that maybe we can work with more junior candidates going forward. And because of all that we did, we are at the moment a leading recruitment agency. And considering our age, the time span we have worked in this area, I'm happy that I'm happy, absolutely happy to see where I am at the moment in terms of my company. So with this brief note, I would hand over to Kavya. Is it?
Sure, sir. Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Thanks, Surya. I would like to start by thanking Amit and this community as well for having me here.
Kavya, you can just check your voice a little bit slow. I think on my everybody's audible, you know.
Okay, is it okay now?
Yeah, it's better. I think everybody, yeah, it's good. Better.
Okay,
Thanks for
perfect.
that.
No problem. As I was saying, I want to thank first Amit and this community as well for having me here. So basically, I am IT recruiter. I am in the recruitment industry from past 2.5 years. It's nearly 3 years. I came into the recruitment because I kind of enjoyed the aspect of recruitment. When I talk about the candidate hardship, when I talk about the market, when I talk about how to approach the interviews and stuff, it is based on my experience. Like I have had my fair share of job search, I have had my fair shares of interviews while looking for the job. So the processes, the methods that I tried and tested, then I came across would be something that I would really want to share. And in terms of recruitment wise, I recruit for IT. Currently, I'm working with a couple of, even though I'm working with Experis Manpower Group, within that, I'm managing multiple high profile IT accounts where I recruit for the permanent and the contract roles as well for them. And I have been kind of recruiting most of the people. I would say half of my roles that I'm currently recruiting are from India. They require work, they sponsor the work permits and stuff as well. So I'm quite familiar with the visas that's happening at the moment. I'm quite familiar with the work permits, the processes that are currently involving in the present market and the timelines as well. So I would say that in terms of experience wise, I recruit for experienced managers, experienced directors as well, and also from the freshers too. I have placed multiple freshers across the industry, mainly in the coding and analytical part, I would say. So yeah, that's me, and I would really want to share some of my experiences and quick insights today. I hope that will be really helpful going forward.
Sure. Thanks, Kavya, and welcome. And primarily, I'm giving to our discussion panel. So we have strategic and tactical both sides from the recruitment funnel. So we have taken these guests because they have wide and depth of experience. So we will be presenting those questions. And I think anybody, Rucha, you wants to start? Please take ahead. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. So first of all, thank you for joining us, and we are really excited to know your perspective, like how actually we can search job in Ireland. So basically, as a job seeker, I always wonder like how organizations look at CV, or like how they screen the CV, or how they select the CV, and how interview process actually goes. So, can you please elaborate a little bit about organizational perspective toward looking at CV selection or screening?
Yeah, sure. I would like to kind of first start on with the CV selection process, mainly. To be honest with you, Rucha, like once you send the CV, like as a recruiter, me, I spend max 20 seconds on the CV. Like that first 20 second for the candidate is very crucial. Like you have to get your CV right at first. So like whatever that you write in summary and whatever that you write in skill set, that is very much important. And also I would say is like when you apply for the job, like if you send a CV to the recruiter, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to look for the job spec and they're going to look into your CV, and if there is a match, then you'll go for the next step. So I would say is whenever you pick up laptop or a phone of yours applying for the job, so I would strongly suggest is tailor the CV according to the job spec, tailor it as much as possible. And I'm not saying only keywords, and I'm not saying like put on the everything that you don't know. I'm saying is whatever you know, put in a manner that the recruiter has to be interested to see that, and the recruiter has to be kind of drawn towards it to know, yeah, this candidate has something that is suitable for the job. So I would say that's one of the aspects, like while looking for the CVs and while bringing the candidate for the next step. So once you cross that CV step, the next is something that really helpful in making of a selection for the interview is the call. Like if I call you, like from the company, if I'm a recruiter, if I call you by looking at your CV, once you pass that stage, I would say is the way you present yourself on the call, the how confident you are, and how you're coming across as a person. Because I don't know you personally, and in this industry, in this market, nobody has a time to know each other personally. So in that span of 5 minutes of the call, you have to give your best. Like you have to tell. Um, like of course we will say what job you have applied, but yeah, you have to tell us that why you are suitable for the job. You have to make your case really good so that we can get a call back, so you can get a call back for you can invited for the interview. So I would say these are really quick first step. If you see in the recruiter perspective, I would say like first is CV, and next is the call, and next is how you present and how you explain your expertise in the call. I would say that's the thing. Surya, do you want to go?
Yeah, well, I totally 100% agree with you what you said, Kavya, there. And typically, when it comes to me, on a daily basis, we scan so many CVs here, and it takes only 10 seconds to make the first impression whether the CV is good or bad, it is going to run or not. So the way I look at the CVs is I start with the keywords. From the job description, I pick up the 4 or 5 or 10 keywords, and then I start searching those keywords in the CV. My clients are also, when they give a detailed detailed job description, they look for most of the essential skills that are required for the job should be there on the CV itself. Because as I mentioned earlier, we work in a very specialized area in IT recruitment for top banks in Ireland and the UK. So my clients are very particular about the what the candidate is going to bring to the table. And if we don't provide them a good CV, they rather not fill the position. So it's not just because the position is there, they would fill it. No, they wait until the right candidate, and then only they fill it. So that is why it is very, very important for the job seekers that they should put all the essential areas that they are familiar with, they are comfortable with, and that is required for the job to be appearing on their CV. A CV is the face. So nobody has seen you at the time of selection. Nobody has seen the candidate, but what you put on your CV is actually your face, your persona. So you keep that in mind and put the details in the CV in a well presented manner, in a well formatted manner, without mistakes, without grammatical errors, and rich in keywords. Remember always, keyword is the king. Now, be it anywhere, social media, we tag things, we hashtag things, and all that thing we do in all kind of social media. Similarly, CV is no different, if you see that way. So put a lot of keywords. Don't hashtag, but put a lot of keywords there. Okay, and that is where that basis is, and that's the starting point. And only when your CV is good, it stands out from the other CVs that were found. Then only you go to the call stage, interview stage. And interview stage, there are a lot of different challenges at the moment with remote working and all. So it has even added to the challenges like network issues. You have to make sure that you are on the good connectivity. That's extremely important. And then also be on the call on time. I am every day we are having so many interviews, and I see that nearly 10% of the people drop out of the call because of no apparent reason, because they have not notified us. Because later on they say that, oh, I got a bad network, or my MS Teams connection is not working, or my Zoom ID is wrong, or the password I forgot, I cannot find out where the mail is to invite, that kind of things we hear. So bit of preparedness is very, very important. You have to take the interview, the selection process that is happening very seriously. And otherwise, every stage is important. And dress up quite well, smile on whether it is a phone call interview or it's it's a video call, do smile. And that creates the vibe. That even if you are not physically present, the other person can sense it. The interview panel can sense it. And do your research about the company before you go to the interview. Do your research. If possible, try to find out about the interview panel. Look at their profile. By looking at their profile, you can figure out what kind of interviews they are going to ask. Most probably, in many cases, you can actually nail it by looking at their profile, their background, their expertise, and how it is matching to the role, how you are matching to the role, what is the synergy between all three: the job description, the interview panel, and yourself. If you can correlate that, you are going to be in a much better place. So it's all about presentation and doing the research about the company, about the position, their website, their LinkedIn profile, all that kind of thing. So those are my essential points to pass on to the candidates.
I would also like to add for this is like I know it's all going to be online and everything. So I would strongly like to say is please dress up. Please dress up. Don't show up in the pajamas, because I have had my fair share of candidates who don't really dress up and they come as, because the more you dress up, the more presentable you are, that more helps you in joining the process. And also, like, you have to kind of show interest. Like if a recruiter talks with you about the job, you have to show interest. Like, don't agree with anything. Like, I am as a recruiter, I'm saying you don't agree with anything, because unless you ask the question, you can't really like know everything. Because so ask the questions about the job, ask the questions about the team. That will make it seem like you're genuinely interested. You're just not shooting the stars, you're genuinely interested. So yeah.
Can I share a story here? Small story. And it is very, very important before you go for the interview, after you got shortlisted, screen. It's absolutely essential that you know your CV very well.
Yes.
You must know your CV very well. It sounds weird. It is your CV after all. But I am surprised to see so many people that they don't know what they have put in the CV. Some of the things they put, they have no clue. I'll tell you a story which actually happened. Last week, I was interviewing a person. The CV was great. I was very impressed. And I called her for the interview. She came on time and I had the CV right in front of me on the Zoom call. I was going through her CV and asking about the skills that she had put, the tools particularly that she said that she has worked on her CV. I asked her, then she said that, no, I have not heard about that tool. I said, okay, maybe just one. Then I went to the another tool that she has mentioned in her CV. She said that also, oh no, I have not worked on that tool. I said, how come? Like, I was kind of perplexed at that point. Then I shared my screen. I showed it her CV that she has emailed to me, her name, phone number, email address, and the whole CV is there. She had a look at it. Then she said that, sir, it is actually not my CV. I think I got mixed up while sending the CV to you. Right? So I was so shocked to hear that. Okay, then I said, okay, I'm giving you a minute or two. Take your time. Please email to me your real CV. Then I'll interview you. Okay, on that basis. I waited for 1 or 2 minutes and I suddenly found that the girl, she dropped off and never appeared to me after that. So, it is so bad. It's wastage of her time, my time. I don't know. Even she doesn't know her CV that she has sent. And it does happen, guys, many times. And particularly when with people with long experience, somebody has worked on a skill 1 year back, but that skill is now important for this new job. It is better that the person goes through it, refreshes his or her memory or experience about that particular role before going to the interview. That makes a lot of difference. And it is like nothing worse as if you have put a relevant skill on the CV, but you are not able to respond to any of the questions on that.
Great.
Right. That's really insightful. Talking about tools and technologies, like my next question is, what are the trending technologies where the job demands is high in Ireland?
I can maybe go first on that one. So from what I have been seeing in the tech sector, automation is a very good skill. When you are like the person knows about Java, Selenium, and other kind of tools. That's a hot evergreen, I would say, skill. particularly in the Irish market, because there are a lot of jobs in testing, quality assurance, and what the trend is about automation of the entire QA process, testing process. That's one thing. And then other emerging trending technologies like mobile technology, knowing how to build a mobile app or how to test a mobile app on various mobile platforms like iOS, Android, or tablets and things like that. So that's another thing. And then other one is like the whole software release process is going towards DevOps. Okay, so the quick release, the continuous delivery, continuous integration, continuous testing kind of pipeline. So that is where it is also going to be very hot, and we find that a lot of jobs are coming, highly paid jobs, highly demanding, and the people, when we approach, we find that they are invariably having 2-3 jobs in their hand at a time. So I would say the trending technologies such as these, and then some of the niche skills also, like some of the niche skills that we have recently recruited are Axiom, Murex, MuleSoft. Those are all used in banks, and some of the banks in Ireland are using, and it's hard to find skills. I think Kavya can even mention more, because she mentioned that they hire a lot of people directly from India to the sponsorship, because you don't find people here. That's the reason. Then you go to India. So if you can build on that, those kind of skills, you have upskill yourself, the students, then obviously Kavya doesn't have to wait for 4 and 5 months to get them people from India.
Exactly.
And I hand over to you, Kavya.
Adding to the question, Surya sir and Kavya, just Rucha, just a
Yeah.
thought of it. So, what are the industries in IT, like banking or what you feel, guys, both which are on hype? For example, e-commerce, digital, banking, pharma. What do you think? Related. I thought to just chip in
Yeah,
and ask you guys.
like telecoms and health. Now, health is a very important sector, particularly after COVID, and telecoms is also another area. But looking at the economy, Irish economy and UK economy, the main base is finance, financial services.
Yeah.
So that is where the
Yes.
demand is always going to stay and grow. But other things also are important, like health, telecoms, even pharma, biomedical engineering and all this kind of stuff. Kavya, maybe you can add to that.
Yeah, sure. I would say, like, I agree with 100% with Surya, telecom and those kind of industry. I would also like to add fintech, because I have been seeing most demands on that sector. Like, people are hiring lots of people, like lots of projects are happening within that industry. So I would say is fintech, go for it. Like, if you wanna, like, it also aligns with your finance and also it aligns with your technology. I mean, whatnot. Like, if you are like skilled enough to enter that market, so I would really kind of recommend that, because in that way you can get exposure to the technologies of high tech technologies that are coming across, and also you can build up your skill based on that, and you will be having lots and lots of opportunities when you approach the market by end, I would say. So fintech, and yeah, add it to that telecom also, it's one of the one. And yeah, pharmaceutical, sorry, because of the COVID and all, maybe pharmaceutical is in high demand. And as I mentioned to you, I'm recruiting from India mainly for pharmaceuticals, and MES automation and those kind of a technology are in very high demand. MES and automation, like, I would say is like, if you have that skill set, reach out to me, and also just upskill yourself on that, because that is our very in high demand. And all the major, you name it, all the major pharmaceutical company are hiring for MES automation leads and those kind of stuffs, those kind of technology professionals. So I would say go for that.
Okay, that's really interesting. So, as a millennial, I always wonder what kind of strategies are organization using to attract our generation, probably millennials or Gen Z, and how can I stand out?
Uh, See, I would say is millennials. If you think about it, like, now after the millennials, I would say is I'm seeing a lot of Gen Z now in the job market. Like, they are coming in the huge numbers. Like, they're applying, and they're, I would say is in the company culture wise, that I'm seeing huge in the past 2 years only. I'm seeing kind of a huge transition in the company culture. Like, before that, companies are like changing. They are kind of becoming more approachable for the youngsters. They are more active on social networking sites, and they are kind of finding innovative kind of ways to attract people towards it. It's all about, I would say, is the market, and it's all about the online presence of theirs that is attracting the people, and companies are really doing it right. And also the companies are putting lots and lots of effort to actually listen to one who's interviewing and to actually listen to one who is employed. So I would say is that company culture is changing. And next thing that I'm currently noticing in the company culture is career development. Like before that, I don't know, like, but recent times I have been seeing is career development is the top priority, like in the candidate, in the client as well. Like whenever you talk with the Gen Z or millennials, like you ask the question about them, they see the futuristic way. They have a certain set of a goals. Like if you see Rucha, like you might be having certain set of a goals for yourself and you want to achieve that. So companies are putting efforts towards that. Companies are helping millennials and Gen Zs help them to achieve those kind of goals. That is the cultural change that I'm looking. And also diversity and inclusive, like as the word suggests, diversity is happening in a huge number, I would say. So that is the main important. And standing out perspective, I would say, is confident is the key. Like you have to know what you want to be, you have to know where you want to be, I would say. Is like, don't be kind of a vague, I mean, don't be someone like who goes after everything. Like be someone who has certain set of goals, be someone who want to have a clear direction. Like if you have a clear direction, like you can get to know if the interview is beneficial for you, then you can be your kind of a, I would say, is best presentable way. So I would say is be confident. I mean, like kind of a know where do you want to go, and do not pretend in the interviews. Like I mean, I have come across with many people, they just pretend that they know something, or they just pretend like, oh yeah, yeah, that's right, and all those slangs and all. Don't ever use that in the interview. Don't ever use any slangs in the interview, and don't bring any social media stuff in the interview, because in the interviews you have to be yourself. Don't pretend to be someone you're not, I would say. Like if you know something, be honest about it. If you don't know something, be honest about it. Tell them you don't know. You never know, they might like you for that, and they want someone for that. So I would say is that's one way of standing out in the interview. And one of the thing is I would like to add from the previous point is dress accordingly. Most of the Gen Z are not dress accordingly. So I would say is dress that one. Yeah, yeah, all about the confidence, all about know where do you want to go, I would say. Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. So yeah, over to you. Do you want to add a couple of points here?
No, I think you summed it up quite well. And particularly for me, I am not very experienced with, Gen Z and, because we typically deal with more senior level people. You are spot on there, Kavya.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that dress accordingly. And yeah, I would say is yes. Don't use slangs, don't use hashtag as Surya mentioned.
Yeah, and give me a second, Rucha, going ahead. So I like everybody to post their questions on the chat. Feel free. We are covering a lot of areas of discussion. We'll appreciate. Keep on pouring questions, and we'll give you opportunity. Open your videos and cameras after 25 minutes back, and you can speak up and ask direct questions. And no question is wrong and right here. If it is a wrong question you feel, don't worry about. Chat it, and our coordinators in the chat will help you to bring out those questions. So our efforts and always that to give a genuine and right insights about the situation in Ireland, and this for you to take a smart action to build your job and career. So please feel free. So I just took a break and just pausing it for the discussion. Pouring questions on the chat is very much important. Please do it. Use your time. Welcome. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So thank you for this interesting perspective. Now my colleague Pooja will be discussing few things. Over to you, Pooja.
Hi Surya, hi Kavya, hi everyone. So myself Pooja and I'm from NCI and I started this volunteering work like 2 months back and I'm like really glad that I joined it and I'm getting a lot of insights from you people as well. So coming to the questions, I have a question on visa and work permit. So currently I'm on my stamp 2 and like I'm applying for a few of the jobs, so I'm like not able to get through it because of the visa and stuff. So I wanted to know like how does the visa status influence the chance of getting approached by recruiters, and what will you recommend to graduates awaiting the visa approval or visa renewal?
If I could please add on that, even I am on
Yeah.
stamp 1G. Hi, I'm Lahari. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Lahari. I'm a banker. I was a banker for 6 years in India. I recently come to Ireland along with my husband. I'm on stamp 1G, and even I have a similar question. Is it any entry barrier? Like 1G, we can work on the work permit, but I just want to know if there is any like they exist on stamp 4 or anything like that.
So okay, on stamp 1G, there is no problem, even though some recruiters do not accept it or do not recognize it. But from stamp 1G point of view, you are absolutely legally allowed to work, but there are different perspectives to it from different clients. Okay, so even though you are legally allowed to work, but the problem is that in Ireland there is a 1-to-1 ratio rule. If you know, I don't want to go into too much detail because of that. What happens is that uh, for if they have to employ someone with stamp 1G, they should have a one Irish national also employed. So that's a kind of 1-to-1. So many companies are stuck with that. That's why they give lower priority to stamp 1G, even if you are technically competent. And many times what my clients are doing is that they are giving the contract jobs to stamp 1G people. They don't offer the full-time employment, but they offer the contract jobs. That is because in one way, because my clients are all big companies, but I see that a lot of companies in Ireland are also sponsoring stamp 1G candidates, particularly the graduate visa holders, and so that they can have the permanent residency here later on. So that is possible with a lot of smaller companies, but with big established companies, they look for the easier option. That is, whoever is Irish or whoever is stamp 4 or whoever is if not, then stamp 1G dependent candidates are also preferred. But in that hierarchy, they first prefer people with Irish nationality. Then, if not, stamp 4. If not, stamp 1G dependent. If not, stamp 1G graduate. That kind of hierarchy I have seen companies following.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's totally
Surya sir,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt like that, and I cannot start my video for some reason. But my name is Utsav, and I'm on stamp 1G. I'm here in 2019 batch for my masters in big data. I am currently working with TIPCO software, but the thing is, I feel that I am not in the core development role, which I want to be in. Okay. So how do I
So,
break that
sir,
barrier? Because
sir, just
sorry.
stopping you. So, for the sake of the discussion, we'll hold for a sec. We will definitely, take your questions, right? And please keep up. And we want to, take all the areas and then put up those questions together so we can go with the flow. Is that okay with you?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I thought that it was just in the
Don't worry,
continuation of the
don't worry.
stamp
We are not
1G thing.
leaving anybody. We are not leaving Kavya and Surya, sir. They will answer definitely. And a lot of more
Okay.
than 50 questions also will take extra time.
Okay.
So we want to go with the flow, and so everything's are covered, right? And these questions are very important, and thanks for asking. Don't worry about camera. Put in a chat. Ankit and Madwin and couple of people are administrating it, and we'll come with that. So I
Okay.
think let's focus on the flow. We'll bring up 100%. Don't worry about that.
Okay. Perfect. Sorry.
Yeah, welcome, welcome. No worries.
Perfect. Yeah, as I was saying regarding the stamp manja, I totally agree with Surya about the hierarchy and everything that's really happening. But if you're someone like I'm currently working with some of people, so I'm saying based on that, if you are someone who recently graduated and you are transitioning from stamp 2 to stamp 1G. So I would strongly kind of recommend you, whenever you contact a recruiter, whenever you send a CV, mention that in there. And if you have appointment of kind of if you're attending an appointment for changing a stamp, mention that also, and mention your exam result. By that, they know you're 100% going to get stamp 1G, and by that, they know for the next 2 years you will be sorted. The chances of you getting an interview will be a lot higher.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So some kind of evidence is required so that we can convince our clients that yes, this person has got the assurance that is going to get the visa, because obviously if something happens on the way and visa is not approved or things like that, so that is what they want to be reasonably assured, the clients. So that's really important. Yeah.
Perfect. We hope you answered, Pooja.
Yeah, you definitely did.
Okay.
So the next question is like, LinkedIn is playing an important role for getting a job here, like everywhere, especially in Ireland. So what would you recommend, like how to stand out in LinkedIn profile so that recruiters can connect and then it has more chances of landing a job? So what would you say on that?
In terms of a LinkedIn, I would like to add as the basic thing. Please, in the name, right after that, mention what you do. If you're a data analyst, if you're a developer, if you're a business analyst, mention that. Don't just mention actively looking for the job, or don't just mention stamp 1G, because like even me or Surya or any recruiter, nobody gonna go in there and to check what is your profession. So right after your name, like mention what you do. So that will higher your chances of getting your LinkedIn profile getting noted. And in the search as well, it will higher your chances you coming up in the searches. Like if I search as a data analyst, and if your title has a data analyst, you will come up. Instead, if you put it as actively looking for the job, it won't come up. So it's no helpful to people. And the next thing I would like to add on the LinkedIn is summary. Like if you are a technical professional, concentrate more on the summary. Like write 4 or 5 lines about you, like what you do as a professional. I mean, not personal about you, however you're at home, professional, like what you do, what is your background, and where do you want to go next. So that one. And mention the technical skills you're expert in. Like mention like whatever the technical knowledge that you have expertise in, and whatever the one that you understand and you have a depth knowledge in. And right after that, if you're actively looking, mention your number and email address. So like if someone views your profile, if you're interested, they can contact you directly instead of sending a message or emails and a lot of stuff. And another thing I would like to add is be more active on LinkedIn. Like respond to the messages on LinkedIn, and connect with the groups on LinkedIn, network on LinkedIn, because that will really higher your chances according to the LinkedIn algorithm. If you come up, if you like, if you comment, if you engage in it, like chances of your profile coming up on recruiters feed or your targeted audience feed is a lot higher. So engage with them, I would say. And yeah, pretty much that will make you noticeable in the LinkedIn world, because LinkedIn is so much. So I would say is do that. And also Surya, like what do you like to say on this?
Yeah, I mean, the LinkedIn is actually very, very important for our process on a day-to-day basis, because we are more into niche areas, very skilled kind of skills we look for, very specialized skills we look for with the candidates. So we normally don't find readily CVs available for this, for those roles. So typically our first point of search starts with LinkedIn. And on the LinkedIn, again, we search based on the Boolean strings. And Boolean strings are nothing but the keywords that we are looking for in the job description. We create a Boolean string and use it on LinkedIn. And if based on what we find, we try to reach out to the candidates. If the phone number is there, that's the best thing. But in very, very rare cases, phone numbers are there. And I can understand for previous reasons or whatever. But if you are actively searching for jobs, it's better to leave the phone number there so that recruiters can be in touch with you very quickly. Phone number and emails are normally hidden in the LinkedIn profile, but if you make it public, they will be also be visible. That is one thing, to leave your contacts open, and also describe your give a good summary of all the skills, relevant skills that you have, what you are interested in, what are your strengths are, so that it should be rich in keywords, and so that when we are doing the Boolean strings searches, you will show up. Okay, that's one thing. Secondly, do the networking, as Kavya pointed out very clearly, very perfectly. Do networking and even seek recommendations, and that will also have value. And also, in the key skills area, include what are the key skills you have. So that is also going to, in the search results, that plays quite a bit. And apart from summary, even if you go to the individual job sections, where you have worked before, put the summary there, put the highlights, put the skills that you have worked. So on that basis only, if you make it more rich, then you will come up in searches for different roles more frequently. And that is how the recruiters, we will contact you when we don't have CV. And in most cases, we don't get the CVs readily, as I said, because of the obvious reasons. But then if you have it, contacts are open and skills are well laid out on your LinkedIn, that helps a lot. And we can immediately get in touch with you and be responsive as well. Emails and all, or LinkedIn messages, be responsive. Because I have seen from my experience, in some cases, we just send, our team sends connection requests for 2 days, 3 days, there is no response. There is no email to the response, even for 15 days, 20 days also. Suddenly they come back, and that by the time the position is filled, so that is also what we have seen. So yeah, LinkedIn is extremely important, and there are consultants who can also help you if you need to, as it is similarly equally important as having a good CV also. Yeah.
That's great. That's great, Surya and Kavya. Thanks for your insights. And there is one other question, if the time permits, I would like to ask. How does the soft communication skills and the local networking helps in landing a job?
Actually, yes. Can I go first, Kavya?
Yes, sir.
Please.
So networking is extremely important. And actually, to tell you, most of the jobs, a large number of jobs, get filled without being advertised. Okay, so, and that happens because through the networks only. If there is a vacancy coming up, then there are some insights, people come to know about it. They first send to, suppose it comes to me, I don't go and publish. First of all, I first thing do is search in my own internal database if I have some candidate. Okay, if I have some candidates, fine. Otherwise, from my, I put it on my WhatsApp group, or I know somebody who would be suitable. I kind of put them in that group, or directly approach people because I know them. They are skilled. So that happens because of networking. The person has done the networking, been in touch on LinkedIn, or have been proactive, has sent the CVs, so that it is in our database. So networking is very, very important. It cannot be undermined, and a lot of positions get closed even before they're advertised. So if you keep that in mind, you know how important is networking, and it all works because of networking.
Yes, yeah, 100%. As Surya said, most of the roles gets filled with networking. So if you do your networking well, if you do your networking right, that is very, very beneficial, I would say. So yeah, that is one thing. And regarding the soft skill question, Pooja, that you answered, that you asked, I would like to add is soft skill is a must. To be honest with you, you might have very high technical skill, but if you don't know how to explain, it's of no use. So soft skill is a must wherever you are in your career, like even like if we reach very heights, but yeah, soft skill is the must, I would like to add. It's like that, like without the soft skill, like you're kind of limiting yourself. Like you have to go out there and you have certain set of a communication and have certain set of a presentable skill that will help you grow and help you reach many audience, you know. Even if you for example, like if you give, like even if you give a simple interview, let's just say, even if you talk on the phone, if you're more presentable and if your communication is right, precise, on point, that will go along the way compared to the person who couldn't able to communicate what he wants to say. So soft skills are very much important, and I'm sure Surya might have had many of these kind of examples
Yeah.
regarding the soft skills. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
So it's absolutely important, soft skills and right kind of attitude to work, the kind of little bit of flexibility, and being assertive towards work, towards attitude, towards the responsibilities, and also having the team spirit, having the collaborative spirit is extremely important, and it is more so in the post-COVID world when everybody is working remotely. We don't see each other. We are not sitting next to each other in the office. So communication, being sensible, being sensitive to what is expected by the other person and acting proactively, it's extremely important to prove yourself, to prove your capabilities. And I have also seen the interview feedbacks from my clients. They say that in some cases the candidate is excellent in terms of technical capabilities, but he doesn't seem to be a good team player, so rejected.
Yeah.
So it is, soft skills are extremely important, and if you are ignoring soft skills, you are ignoring at the peril of your career. Okay, so I mean, team spirit, attitude, bit of smile, bit of that adds a lot of value to your day-to-day working and in the interviews and in the selection process as well.
And adding to it, Surya sir, we are also, encouraging our volunteers to learn through presentations and discussion, building networking and all this. So I encourage everybody to volunteer and fill the forms we are share. And we are now around 1 hour, and I think Shubham will now ask some of the last concluding questions, and we'll wrap up with quick questions. I think Shubham, you can open your mic, just give a bit introduction, short of it. Yeah,
Hello,
welcome Shubham,
myself
and go ahead,
Shubham Garg.
please.
Thank you, Amit, so much. Myself Shubham Garg. I'm pursuing a master's in data analytics from National College of Ireland. As I won't be wasting much time, so I think I just quick to the questions. So, like, if a candidate selected, my question is about the interviews. So, if the candidates sometimes selected with their CVs, so there are some problems with them regarding the interviews. Like, what kind of best approach for the preparation of the interviews? See, like, and what are the potential an interviewer is seen in the candidate? So, will you please like?
In the interview preparation aspect, I would like to say is research. I mean, the word says itself, to be honest with you. Like, as like you have to do as much as research as possible, research about the company, research about the job, um, browse their social medias, browse their websites, and even research, I mean, even browse the people who are going to interview with, like interviewers, like look them up on LinkedIn, know about their career, know about their professional background as well. That will kind of really help you going forward in terms of it. And yeah, like other kind of interview preparation I would like to add is job spec. Like I think Surya mentioned this before, like you have to know the job spec. If you don't know the job spec, then whole interview is of no use, because every questions that you will be asked and every kind of a skill sets that you will be questioned is based on the job spec. So you have to know the job spec, you have to know what you're gonna do, and you have to know what you did. So that is the main point of the interview. If you want, like if you feel like you're underconfident for the interview, or if you feel like you're not confident enough because of the time constraint or because of the emotional pressure or something, do the mock interviews. Like I'm sure you might have had friends and stuff, do the mock interviews, like repeat the answers, repeat your technical aspects, skills that are suitable for the job. Yeah, like be confident, I would say, as much as possible before the interview, minutes before the interview. That will really help. Surya, over to you now.
Yeah, sure. I mean, all those points, I perfectly agree. And just a couple of points I want to add here is that, nowadays with this video interview era, all interviews are happening on video, have the correct etiquettes, video etiquettes, and present yourself well. And, make sure before the interview that the connectivity works well, and try to be on time, even though you are, I'm surprised to see, even though like now everybody is working from home, still people come to the interview, video interviews late. Earlier, people used to travel for 1 hour, take leave from work and all that. They used to be still on time. But now with for connecting from home also, people get late. So, I mean, that is something everybody should keep in mind. And another very important piece of advice I would give is, invariably in the interviews, the interview panel gives you opportunity to ask questions. Always utilize that to the fullest, to the best. And I have seen many people saying that, no, I have nothing to ask, I didn't ask anything, or I don't want to ask anything. No, use that opportunity to showcase yourself, showcase your interest, showcase your commitment to that role. And the kind of intriguing questions you ask to the panel, that shows how interested you are, how much research you have done about this role, and how desperately you need that role, need that job. There are a lot of very good questions. If you can Google around, you will also see on what kind of questions to ask. But practically, never ever let that opportunity go out of your hand. Whenever you're asked, utilize that. And you can ask different kind of questions, like suppose even as simple as, like, how do I compare, how do you compare myself with other candidates for this role? That kind of questions also you can ask. Or even you can ask, have I been able to make myself about absolutely clear as to what you are looking for? Or do you still want to ask me any questions, so that I can justify my relevance for this role even a better way? That kind of things. Or even other questions like, to the company, you are asking, how do you see yourself in next 5 years? Or how do you differentiate yourself from your competitors? Or what makes it a great place to work? I'm sure Kavya must have seen so many questions coming to her in different interviews from people, but smart people ask smart questions, and they get an edge of getting selected over the other candidates.
Exactly. I would like to add one question is, like, I strongly suggest everyone to ask this. Whenever, like, if a manager is interviewing you, ask them how big their team is and how their team is performing. What are their team key skills? Like, by that, it will show you're a team player, and it will show you're interested to join the team, not only the company or not only the job. It shows that you're genuinely interested in the job, you're genuinely interested in the team, to work for the team, work for the company. Yeah.
Guys, I think it's very exciting questions being our. We will like to open for the our people who are the participants questions. And just one concluding question I have, if people have multiple offers, what are your thoughts on that? They should thank the company they are not joining and build the relationship. That's the concluding, and we'll open the questions then.
So to that, I will say that like, if you have got multiple offers, then you are the best place. So nothing better can be there. So obviously, in that case, also there are dilemmas. You have got multiple options and what to select. But if the role is coming from me, please accept my offer.
Yeah.
Okay. Jokes apart, yeah. So yeah, I mean, you carefully decide as to what you want to do, what the job offers, and money is not the everything at the end of the day. But career satisfaction, job satisfaction is also important. What kind of company it is, what are the future outlook, and and what is the kind of skills they are going to offer, and career opportunities they are going to offer. That is a basis on which you can select the best job for you.
Exactly. I would
Yeah,
like to add
thanks for
one
that.
point for this.
Yeah,
I would like
sure,
to add one
Kavya.
point for this. Like whenever you turn down the offer, don't burn the bridge. Like thank manager,
Yeah,
thank recruiter, thank everyone involved in the process because you never know whom you might cross path again. I would like to add that because I have seen so many people once they reject the offer, they ghost everyone, not even a thank you or anything. So yeah, let do that. I mean, it's
yeah,
really helps.
it's important. Yeah, yeah. Second, coming down to the networking, it's part of,
Yes.
yes, staying
Yeah.
So
connected.
I think I will ask now everybody, and thanks for the guest speaker for taking around 1 hour. We are all being
Yeah,
both way.
yeah.
Thanks for that. We can
Thank
have
you
a,
so much.
I think some emojis or applause from everybody. I will appreciate that. That's not a less time. Please use your team's emojis to show your appreciation efforts. And now open your cameras and videos. Everybody who wants to ask question, please feel free. And in chat, Ankit and Medvin will ask from questions there. Yes, who wants to open their mic and cameras, please speak up. Welcome.
Uh, should I go first?
Yeah, please go ahead. Quick.
So, as I already mentioned, that I am working at a company called Tipco, and I think I really wanted to switch to something more into technical, and I'm pretty sure I am competent enough. The only issue that I see is I don't have experience, and most of the recruiters I have reached out to, most of the companies that have interviewed me, they all say that we need experience, and I do not know how do I fill that gap. So that's
So you
one
are
thing I
currently in
really want to.
Ireland.
Sorry.
You are currently in Ireland only.
Yes, I am in Ireland and I
Okay.
am working with Tipco Softwares. I came in 2019 for my master's in big data management and analytics.
Got it.
So yeah, I'll renew my
So
stamp now for the
anybody can
1G.
answer, Kavya and Surya sir. Anybody you feel. So quickly we'll wrap
Yeah,
up the.
from what I gather is you already have the experience. Why are you saying that you don't have experience? Because you are working with Tipco.
No, so I joined Tipco in July 2021, so just 3 months back, and it's not into the core technical field that I would want to be in. So it's more of technical content designing. Um, I don't know. So I need to break that barrier and get into the core technical side.
Okay, to that, maybe I can suggest is you talk to your managers and show your keenness in where you want to go and what career you want to build. If there is a synergy in what you are doing and what if they are able to offer that, probably they'll be open to that. But you have to be probably patient, wait for a few weeks or maybe a couple of months because obviously they have to also look from the company point of view. That's one thing. And secondly, what you can do is where you are interested, you know it best. Okay, and then on that basis if you upskill yourself by watching YouTube or doing some mock projects, executing something, showcasing it and building your CV on that basis, and then approaching prospective recruiters who are having those skills, potentially they can offer that to you. I would suggest those are the things you should be doing for yourself to prepare for the new role.
Okay, perfect. And about the projects, I have quite a few projects. In my thesis, I made a project from scratch. So it was a full stack development project that included the gathering of data to deploying the AI model into the web and having a user interface for the users that they can use. So it was a complete NLP project that included the full stack development. And apart from that, I also have something like a copy of Trello that I made, a copy of Instagram that I made. So those are the kind of projects that I have. So I mean, they are competent enough projects to be honest, but so how do I convey this through a CV? I have it written on my CV, but I think for some reason it does not go to the recruiter how big and how deep the development and the knowledge is required to build that kind of a project. So when I say I can say what I have done from scratch, but when I just write it on the CV, it's not that appealing. Maybe it's the language or I don't know what, but I might need a hand or something with that kind of a thing.
So here I will pitch in. Even I've been into industry from 15 years. So just pitch in worked across 3 countries, US and Europe and APAC region. So I have similar experience earlier, and from Surya and Kavya side, I faced that challenge. And So primarily is how you are, talking your experience, right? You have to sell your skills, show that you worked in a collaboration with your, classmates. That's team management. Show your technical skills, what skills you leverage that to deliver that project. It's only is how you communicate in steps. Approve, start to use STAR approach, which is normal. Everybody can Google. Show the benefits out of that your initiative and your academic projects. So there are a lot of freshers. Currently, we have around 80, 90 participants also here. So use your that knowledge and your project to share the experience, not in just writing. It's communication, right? How you communicate the output of that project, to the how is benefit to that company, right? You might have done, but it might not be benefit to that company. So put that perspective, research about company. For example, the supply chain product project is there. You can link it to that. So building that, it will help you, right?
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. And we'll take ahead more questions. Don't worry. And we are requesting other people also, please open their mic or video as well suits you, because we are around 1 hour more. So yes, and you can share your LinkedIn profiles also. They are also in the chat. Primarily give your feedbacks. We have given the link is shared. Yes, please speak up.
Thank you so much.
Hi, myself Agam. I'm from India. I have 2.5 years experience as a cloud engineer here, and currently I'm looking for opportunities in Ireland. So I have two options in my mind. One is I'm looking for masters, pursuing masters in cloud computing, and on the other hand, I'm also looking that if I can directly get a job over there because I have certifications and experience related to it. Currently, I'm working in Reddington as a cloud engineer. So I would like to ask the panel that what option would be the what would be the better option for me to go for?
For this, I would like to say, you mentioned that you have 2 years of experience, right?
Right.
So, like, if you like, it will take a time, to be honest with you. Like 2 years is not enough. So, yeah,
Okay.
I would like to say is get more experience if you want to come for the job. If you want to come directly for the job and you can't really come for the education, then wait, get more experience, get more expertise, and do the certifications. That is important. And also, like, when you're applying from India, I would strongly suggest is like, target the companies. Don't apply in the job boards. Like, job boards is full of lot of jobs from the recruitment agencies and from everything. If you're applying from India, I would strongly suggest you is take a target list of your companies and note down whom you want to go into and go after it. Even though you have a 2 years of experience, there might be a chances because you're persistent about it. And also, and one of the thing I would like to add is, like, this is all the things only if you come to Ireland on the basis of job. But if you can come to Ireland based on the masters as well, then I would say is please go for the masters, because once you come in here, like, you'll be having masters, of course, and also you'll be having 2 years of this time period where you can land yourself a job. And cloud is one of the very in demand skills. So I'm sure, like, even though you have a 2 years of experience, you'd be landing in a very good job within very good company if you come on the masters. But yeah, if you come for a job, it will take a time. You have to do a lot of research, you have to list down your target companies, and you have to be persistent about it. And also you have to be make sure that you have all the certification, and all the certification are valid in Ireland also. Some of the certification might not be. You have to do that as well. So yeah, choices between you, but both are okay. One takes more time, one is less, I would say. Is one is as soon as possible, I'd say. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Agam. I think we have a couple of more questions. What I will do, if somebody wants to speak up, feel free. And we'll, this already I requested, and thanks for our guest speakers. We are more than 1 hour this event. I know this is very, crucial discussion in career and job search. But if anybody wants to speak up, feel free to speak up and open your videos and cameras. I'm just concluding the remarks. And Ankit, can you speak up some of the questions in the chat?
Hi everyone, shall I speak now?
Yeah, please welcome. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, this is Hariteza Bandaru. I have 6 years experience on SAP security and GRC modules, deals with governance, risk and compliance. Currently working in Deloitte, India. What Agam has asked with the same question I'm also asking here, because I have two options here. One is like directly apply the companies related to the cybersecurity field. I see like SAP is not that much in Ireland as far as I see, because I don't find that much pretty jobs here. So cybersecurity is somewhat related to my job profile, and currently looking for the job opportunities there. Hardly like I'm not getting any replies there. So the second option is looking for the masters on cybersecurity. So can you recommend me which is the best option to get into that? And also, is that experience will count what I have done here in India, because it's somewhat SAP is a kind of different application, and cybersecurity deals with a lot of applications. Even though I have IT experience of 6 years, will they consider my cybersecurity profile if I have applied there?
Is it your 6 years of experience mainly into IT and mainly into cybersecurity, or?
Yeah, mainly into IT on SAP application. It deals
SAP
with
applications. And in cybersecurity, how much of experience are you having?
No, I don't have any experience on cybersecurity. I have only experience on SAP security and GRC, governance, risk and compliance modules.
Okay, so that seems to be a niche skill, and getting the timing is very important. If a particular company here is looking for that skill, probably they will be struggling in the local market to get somebody with that skill. And if you come up there at the time, then you are in. That kind of thing also works quite well. And in those cases also, the companies are happy to give you sponsorship. And if you are having in SAP and what you said, the skill GCP or whatever you said, if it is like for 6 years, it's a good period. And if you are really strong in it, and if you are convinced that you have the command over it, then I feel that there will be definitely opportunity for you. But because it's a niche area, you have to be constantly keep looking, or do the kind of research which companies in Ireland are looking for that kind of skill, and get in touch with them. As Kavya mentioned earlier, be in touch with them proactively rather than floating your CV to the recruiters. So if you can target that kind of companies, even 4 or 5 companies, and keep talking to them, or maybe call them and kind of build that rapport, and build the connectivity on the network, on LinkedIn, with their recruitment team or with their HR team, that will be helpful actually. And it's a matter of timing. And if you are coming for masters, what I can say is, because you already have 6 years of experience, and if you are leaving that good job there in India and coming for masters, then you have to be careful after masters again, what you are looking for. Are you going to change the line, going to new skills? Cybersecurity is more in demand also, and it is more not as rare as the other one you mentioned. So again, in that area also, you need to do first your homework and research before making the decision as to which path you need to take. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Surya. Got it.
Yeah. I think from the perspective of our, yes, sure. Larry, just a second. From the perspective of a lot of, our participants are on STAMP primarily 1G, and they have 2 years to look for job, right? Or they before going to the critical skills. So what are they have a lot of people say we have applied for 100 jobs, and we are not successful. They become very sad, and in return on investment is very less. So what do you guys both suggest, because there are a lot of chunk, we are trying to solve that problem, to be very frank and very genuine to you on that problem. There are a lot of chunk of students who invest 40-50 lakhs through 1 year, and after searching jobs 6 months, 9 months, even 1 year, they could not get a job even after experience or a fresher. So what are your suggestions and expertise you should I think this is very key question. Specific problems to one person is there, and we are discussing that use cases. But this is very common scenario we see in our face-to-face meetings. We do it on our events in quarterly. So what are your suggestions, Surya sir and Kavya?
I would like to kind of a point out here is like, As you mentioned, it is kind of a general problem. Even kind of, I'm also kind of getting questions on this. I would like to say is it won't be solved until unless we address the problem. Like, look after where you're lacking in the interview. Look after where you're lacking in the CV. Target those areas. Like, there might be certain things that are not really putting in place for you, not really working out for you. So look at those aspects. I mean, to be honest with you, it's a very big problem that we are facing, and also not everyone gonna get critical skill, or not everyone like gonna get into large kind of companies. I would say is target the companies, even though this is a small company. Don't hesitate, give your best. Like, don't, I would say is, like, if you have 2 3 interviews lined up, I have come across with the people, like, even though they are on the stamp 1G, they ignore small companies if they have 2 3 companies lined up for the interview. Don't do that. Like, the small companies will chances of small companies hiring you will be lot more than the large companies. So go for the companies, go for the interviews, and target where you're lacking. It might be some of the technical skills, or it might be some of the interpersonal skills. Target those areas that are currently kind of lacking you behind. And also, I would like to add one more thing here is, as we mentioned previously, like, networking is a very big part that happens. And also, you should know the timings as well. Like, if you go to the HR and if you tell them, I'm on stamp 1G, I need a sponsorship. Like, no, that's not how it works. You should not tell in the first round of interview that you need a sponsorship. You should wait, and you should prove yourself why you're worth for hiring. Then you should tell them you need a sponsorship. There are high chances they will give it to you. Like, before knowing you, nobody gonna like tell you that they will sponsor you. It's just that it will take a little time, and you have to pick your moments where to uh, where
Sure.
to question them. Yeah.
Got it. Thanks, Kavya. So yes, sir, anything on you for that perspective?
Yeah, again, on that, I would like to say is the same thing. Basically, and no one is going to give you a stamp 1G upfront. You have to prove your stance. You have to prove that you are actually standing out of the crowd. It's after all, it's a demand supply situation. There is a huge supply, but less demand in that sector. So you have to be one of the just few from the many, rather than many from the many. You have to make that way, present yourself that way, upskill, maybe go for internships, go for actual work experiences, so that you have something to add on your CV to say that yes, you have gone that extra effort, extra mile to to prove yourself and to stand out yourself. I know it every day costs there, living here without a job, but that's a painful thing, but that's a real challenge there, and you need to find out the ways and means to get over it. And the worst that can happen is you wait for jobs for 1 year, 2 years, and then again 2 years are up, and then you have to go back. That's the worst thing. But while you are here, try to make best use of your time, of skill, certification, networking, and presenting yourself well, and internships to gain the valuable experience is all that is required. Actually, I mean, it's a tricky, and there is no one formula fits all for this, but you have to consciously think about it and work towards where is the sweet spot and what is working for you.
No,
And
thanks
at
for
the
that.
same
I
time,
think
do
these
the
are the
research,
yes.
and target the companies as to exactly what you want. Yeah.
I think these are the top 10 points you have told to everybody. And I think if this 10 also is doable and implemented well, jobs are not, very difficult. So I think we have more questions coming up. It's already more time. So I'll ask someone to speak up, and we'll conclude with 2 questions there, and we'll open the chat after that, and we'll answer some of us. Yeah, Larry, anybody wants to speak up? Last 2 questions. Your mic is on mute, I think.
Yes, yeah, just
No
got it.
worries.
Sorry. So I just wanted to know, like someone else already asked, does Indian experience count? I worked for more than 6 years in banking, and I
Yeah.
think getting a bank job, getting into banking sector is difficult here because they have different set of, qualifications and degrees that we have to do here. Does Indian experience count? That's my main.
Yeah. So in banking also it will count provided vacancies are there. The problem
Okay.
is that it's all comes down to simple demand and supply situation. Okay. In the banking operations. So you mean banking operations? That is what you are experienced with, right?
Yeah, actually, I was a credit analyst in a
Yeah,
bank.
yeah,
So
yeah. Basically operations kind of thing.
yes, yes,
So that
yes.
is where there is demand is less. What is
Okay.
actually booming here is the technology side of things, the software side of things. What is driving, because that is where things are changing. Software is getting scrapped in every
Yeah.
5 years. Whole
Yes.
technology landscape changes, the technology stack changes, new things come up, so banks have to stay ahead in the competition, so they have to adapt to this new technology. So that is where the demand comes and requirements come. But in terms of operations, probably there is a bit of a saturation, so there is no vacancy only. So I feel that there is no additional certification required for you, but the opportunity, the opening has to come.
Yeah.
Okay. I have, I have worked with few people who have got a lot of experience in banking in India, but they struggle actually. Honest, like it is hard to believe, but hard truth. But that's the kind of thing you have to upskill or you have to change
Yeah,
yourself.
actually,
Something.
I'm trying to, change the switch careers. I'm trying for a business analyst training. I'm going that. So I'm thinking I can, change,
Yeah.
shift
Yeah,
careers. I
something
think
like
that's
that.
the
If
way
you do,
forward here.
then you can have a entry into banking, because banking experience is very good. Here it's a fintech industry. Sorry, banking financial services industry is huge here in Ireland as well as in the UK in this area. But then that's in a different side of things. So, but
Yeah.
if you on top of that you build a kind of business analysis kind of things, then it will probably work out quite well for you.
Yeah, because actually, when I see whatever I have done, there are at least 3 to 4 roles, different roles, which I could easily do here. But it's only thing that I do not have that specific experience. I think most people will be facing a similar situation. We do have transferable skills, but we
So
just
Larry, you are
companies
in
have to
India right
trust.
now or in Ireland?
Yeah, I'm presently in Ireland. Yes.
So please connect on 23rd. We have face-to-face meeting with from banking and financial services senior professionals coming there. So
Great. Yeah.
you can learn from that. So I thought to add on point, and I
Yeah.
think it's been an hour. We would like to conclude this, meeting right now. And after our guest speakers are gone, or our people are there, somebody wants to have one-to-one chat. Some of the people will be there. We will have it. So I would like to conclude this event, and thanks. Surya Patra sir and Kavya for taking this opportunity and giving us so much time, extended time, I should say, on a weekend. And even still, people are joining now. You will not believe our admins are admitting on the Steams, and we see very good encouragements from everybody. And also, I would like to thank our entire volunteering team, because this is a community done by our stakeholders and our volunteers, and particularly Shubham and Rucha and Pooja. They took the opportunity to talk and share their questions. And I would like to thanks everybody for participants, and somebody who wants to ask questions and from the senior participants or senior stakeholder of DIC, please feel free to stay. We are here on live at least 15-20 minutes, and you are welcome to ask those questions. We'll be helping you. Thank you, sir, and see you ahead. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It is absolute pleasure to be here with you all, and really enjoyed the interactions and the time with you all. And even though I have not met any of you personally here, but it was really like, it feels like, we had a real good, fruitful conversation here. Thanks again. Cheers.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thanks.
Kavya.
Thanks,
you, Kavya.
Amit. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Bye.
welcome, Kavya. Yeah. Yes, guys.